My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married at Childers. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and my identity stolen and given the name of a twin. Both, did I say that? Both twins are dead. I'm really tired right at the moment. Oh, they were born out of wedlock. I didn't find out about it until 83 when I ran in a political campaign and was filling out to Larry Flint's. And I'm just showing this because I wrote about mind control murders, and Larry Flint, the guy that shot and killed his attorney and shot him, was one of the mind control victims that was programmed to shoot, and I just put it down here, part of that. What I wanted to write about today is I really had a rough time. Bad. My jobs were shut down later, and I came up to Roanoke, and I have an immune disorder. And if I'm around fumes that are toxic, I get really sick. My immune system attacks itself. And over the years, it's taken a toll on me, and I put it on YouTube, and I've told about the part of the forestry, which is really giving me fits right at the moment. I've had threatening phone calls. They didn't say it was because of those, but today I want to tell you what happened. I've had to run from place to place, and I've put up State Trooper Barton, who said that's how they run me. And I've put all that up on YouTube by using chemicals where I lived. So I've had a bad time in my body. I can hardly walk anymore. The point I wanted to make here is today I spent $200. I went out and bought some camping so I could go out and like anybody else and enjoy some camping out in the forestry. And let me say this, as this video will keep going, I haven't been out there to camp. I've camped on a North Creek. It's a 16 site, really pretty, way back near Arcadia, Virginia, not far from Roanoke. And they, in the past, when I would go out there, they have burned formalghyde, and they have soaked logs in it and passed it around to burn, which is illegal, highly illegal, and it attacks it really makes me sick. I mean, it is horrible what it does to me, my kidneys, and depletes all the water out of me. But I went out there for the first time in years last year, and for one time I had a good experience. Nothing went wrong. They had new hosts. This year I went back, and I've gone back twice. And the hosts are living in like a $200,000 home on wheels in this little bitty place, and they burned it constantly, like 3, 4, 5 nights in a row till I had to leave. I was passed out, very sick. So nobody pays for this, and Eric, I'm showing Eric here because of what happened today. He's the ranger, Eric Smith. He wrote me a ticket on 3604, and he wrote it deliberately, they did. This whole thing is orchestrated. That's when the day that Larry Flint was shot, March the 6th. 04, of course, is later. And he wrote me a ticket for, quote, living in the National Forest, and I had to pay a ticket to have the garbage and pay a violation. What they've done, they have arrested me like 3 or 4 times, and a long time ago when I first came, job shut down, and I did the Appalachian Trail to have a place to be. But the point I'm making, the timing of the arrest, and I spent time in jail, a week. One time it was a month. But it correlated, the dates correlated with, I wrote about mind control murders. And they were done in patterns, and some of them you can prove. Mind control's invisible. But like Timothy McVeigh was programmed, he even told people he was, Waco, and some others. So they have been told, they followed orders, they've gone out and arrested me and really framed me as what has happened. But anyway, I wanted to get into today. I called a person with a cab company who has nothing to do in this, but I was going to go out and camp, and I was so sick. And I haven't been, the only time I've been over the years since '07 was 2 times to the campsite. You pay for it. So supposedly anybody can go there. That's where they burned the formaldehyde logs and made me so sick. Okay, I go back this year. I went back in March, and that's the only times I've gone. And then I went back about a month and a half ago, and the same thing happened, formaldehyde, and hardly anybody was out there that time. But my point is, today I was going to go back out there because some people almost live out there, so they don't obey rules or anything. And I haven't committed a crime. Let me put it that way. So I meant to go somewhere else. Near Curry Creek is a good place. Well, the gentleman that took me, the place had been so you couldn't take a car down there, so he couldn't take my stuff. And I'd gone out and bought a few things and used up all my money, by the way. So we had to come back out, and then I told him to call up because taxis have to get an okay to get on the Parkway, Blue Ridge. He called and told them, well, they knew it was me. I mean, not many people come in a cab and across from Cornelius, which they very well, so their antlers went up, or antennas, excuse me. Maybe I should say. But, so that alerted them. Well, they told him, the cab company, that on Sundays they couldn't come up there. So he took me out. The only place I knew to go was a place before you get to North Creek, just a couple blocks down, and you can pull your stuff back in there, and there's water, and it's grown up now, so nobody uses it, I guess. But I didn't have anywhere else to go. I wouldn't go to the campground, and I had my stuff, and I pulled it a little ways back in there, and it was hard to pull because it's grown up. You can still camp, but it's overgrown. And I was so exhausted, and I'm older, and it was really rough, so I put up what I could, and I got in and fell asleep, and I wouldn't sleep that long, and lo and behold, Eric Smith is right there telling me to get out of there, and I broke a limb, and he was going to charge me for that, and it was just a tiny limb over the tent that I pulled back, a couple of them. My God. And so he's telling me to get it all up and get out of there. And I said, well, I can't. I said, I got a cab out here. Can you help me then? I'm leaving, but can you help me get it? I said, can you take me on up to the campground? And that's when I told him, I said, they burn formaldehyde. And I said, will you help me just get up there? It's a couple of not that far, but I can't walk up there and take my stuff. I'm on a cane and can't walk. And he wouldn't do it. He told me I couldn't go up there, and he didn't care if they, and he used this word. I didn't during this time. I've never said anything to him about the formaldehyde, only I know that he knew about it. He said something about, I don't have anything to do with, I'm not sure I'm using the exact words, when people soak their logs in it and burn, and it was passed out to burn. So anyway, he said he wasn't going to get into that. Well, I said it's illegal, and it's on Jefferson National Forest, and he's a forest ranger. Well, he was highly agitated. I've never seen Eric that way. And so I knew not to, I don't. I'm very quiet, and I've taken a lot of crap off of people and walked away from it. So anyway, he's demanding. He called his buddy with the Fincastle police. I'm going to leave. I'm sitting there, and my phone had gone out, so he called the guy with the cab company that had just dropped me off, and he's coming back to get me. And by the way, I paid him my last penny. I don't have anything, and I've got a place to live for not long that I paid. So anyway, the cop left, and I wondered, why did he bring him out here? And so he got back in his vehicle, and I told him I tried to get my stuff together. He said, get your stuff out of here, together and out. He said, I'm tired of you living in the forest. Well, I did go. I said, I haven't. He knows the background on me, too. He knows very well who I am and what's happened. And he